The Mongol destruction of Baghdad by history does. Let's go on our road to 10,000 subscribers. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Go on, just tick it. Bonus content on our Patreon as well. Link in the description.
Passing under the shade of lustrous archways, envoys reach the court of the Abbasid Caliph Al-Mustasim, the exalted spiritual head of all the millions of Sunni Muslims in the world.
I don't want to.
The travelers come before him with a message from the world conqueror Hulagu Khan.
Beautiful.
Talk of what the Mongol army has done to the world and those in it from the time of Genghis Khan until today may have reached your hearing. Do not try to accomplish the impossible. Destroy your ramparts, fill in your moats, and come to us. If you do not heed our advice, I shall not leave one person alive in your realm.
Should have just heeded his advice, brother. Look at the size of it.
The Mongol army of untold size ride west to subjugate the world on the orders of the great Khan Monka. The Caliph, having previously failed to demonstrate submission to the Khan during the Mongol war against the Order of Assassins, now dares to insult Hulagu. Young man, you have just come of age and have expectations of living forever. You think your command is absolute. For half a millennia, the House of Abbas, uncle to the Prophet Muhammad, has ruled over Baghdad.
A new era is coming, I'm afraid, my friend. Should have just subjugated.
The walls are high and strong, the skyline made splendid by mosques and minarets,
beautiful,
from which the faithful are called to praise Allah. Streets weave among sweet gardens, and in colleges and libraries learned men chart the heavens and speak freely of mathematics, metaphysics, and the ancient wisdom of Plato and Aristotle, preserved here in Arabic. Under the patronage of the Abbasids, the Islamic world has realized great advancements in science and medicine, built automata machines and clocks that run on water. Women in this caliphate are restricted from nearly all public and economic activities. In addition to Sunni, there are religious minorities, Shia Muslims, Christians, and Jews. The fate of all rests in the hands of a man deemed weak, a caliph more disposed to carnal indulgence and treasure counting than to governance or battle. He revels in the deeds of his forebears, and he tells Hulagu Khan, every monarch who has attacked the Abbasid dynasty in Baghdad has met a sad doom. The foundation of this palace is extremely strong and will last until doomsday. Hulagu replies, I shall bring you down miserably into the jaws of a lion.
The Mongols are the doomsday, I'm afraid. If doomsday was ever a thing, you need 4 horsemen. Hey, the Mongols are going to bring you those 4 horsemen.
I think they bring more than 4.
Yeah.
Tens of thousands of Mongol marauders ride to take the eastern mountains and the adjacent lands.
Jesus.
The Christian Mongol general Kit Buka sees to it that the towns and people who waver in their surrender are reduced to smoke and ash. As they press onward, Hulagu receives an offer from the Caliph, a considerable payment if the Mongols will turn back. Hulagu remarks, since we have come all this way, how can we turn back without having seen the Caliph? Al-Mustasim is easily swayed by the words of his divided court, and the Caliph's men resort now to threats, declaring that if Hulagu turns back immediately, the Caliph may yet decide to spare the Mongols. Hulagu laughs. What do I have to worry from the Caliph and his troops?
Brother, the Caliph is such a small empire compared to the Mongols at the moment. What does he think he's gonna do? What does he think he's gonna do?
I understand him like, oh look, you've literally just hit puberty, son. You don't know what you're on about. And he's like, oh, bro, I'll piss on your parade.
Literally, I'm gonna
now my
fuck
guy's gone
you
into like his courts or whatever. He's spoken to people and he's come out like, bro, turn around now, and I might let you run. I'm gonna shit all over you.
Literally,
boy.
I'm gonna now fuck you up. You're calling me young. You now don't think you're gonna do fuck all. I have to destroy you.
At least he's getting his messages back.
At least he's getting his
So
messages
marshaled
back.
behind their general, the Dawatar, the brave men of Baghdad ride to war.
So they're going out to face them all.
The soldiers of the Caliph will not permit the Mongols to reach the walls of their city.
Okay.
They find a Mongol division some miles away. The Mongols flee and the Abbasid soldiers roar in triumph as they pick off a few of the invaders and collect their heads. But the retreat is only a bluff to draw the Abbasid troops out.
Feigned retreat.
The Mongols rupture dikes and flood the plain behind their pursuers. Then the fabled horse...
They flood the plain behind them so they couldn't run, Jack.
That's so unfair.
They're doomsday. Come alive.
Archers of the Khan ride after the Abbasid soldiers, cutting them down with arrows and driving the others into the water to drown. The Mongols pick over the battlefield, collecting gifts to send to Hulagu, 12,000 Abbasid ears. The Dawadar rides back to Baghdad in haste. The caliphs of old would have spirited up all the distant armies of Sunni Islam to the aid of the city, but the throne no longer possesses such command.
Yeah. See?
Defenses are ill-prepared. Allies have not come. Over 100,000 Mongols now approach the city from every side. The din of their march and their horrible shouts builds like a rising tide before the great house of Abbas.
Nowhere.
No. You're surrounded on all sides by the horde.
Paths out are blocked. Hulagu Khan means to spare none, and the lonely walls of Baghdad must now bear his fury. The Mongols entrap the city with their own walls. I'm digging a hole in my
house and putting a carpet and a table over it, and I'm sitting in that hole
and just hoping to God.
Hope to God that after everything is burned down and collapsed, that I can still move the table and get out.
And that they don't want the table and take it and find you. That's the other thing as well.
I'm having a shit table.
Yeah.
I'm having a shit table.
You have to have a shit table.
I'm retardant. But I'm having a shit table.
Stone shit table.
No, bro, I want something heavy but not that heavy. I want something that looks like they've just had like mouldy porridge poured on it. Like, I want something the Mongols aren't ever going to look at twice.
Ah, brother, it's look at outside. Like, what do you do? And you want to surrender, but he's like, no, we've come here now. We've come. You made this happen. Once we surround your castle, there's no backing down now.
You could kind of hope that you could kill one of them without any other one seeing, take his clothes, wear
and run and just hope to God
act like one of them.
That is your best option.
And a ditch. And on January 29th of the year 1258, the storm begins. Great stones pound the walls and streets. Day and night the Mongols charge against the gates. People wail and stagger about to the sound of their wretched fate. The frantic caliph attempts belated negotiations.
It's too late.
Hulagu rejects them. Catapults bring down a strong tower on the eastern side, and the stirring sea of Mongols flows over the high walls. In the thousands, they sweep over the ramparts, killing all the garrison they find. Joining them are some thousands of their subject Christian troops from Armenia and Georgia, eager to join the cause against their Islamic foes. As Mongols pace along the city walls, throngs of refugees pack onto boats, and the Dawadar joins their escape, only to look out and see the Mongols have built bridges over the river. They launch stones and incendiary projectiles at the boats attempting to leave. They capture 3 vessels and kill everyone aboard.
There's no escaping the Mongols, brother. When they want you, they're gonna get you.
Bro flooded the army so he couldn't retreat. And now my man's just got bridges for any refugees trying to leg it.
So you can just ping them off with arrows.
Oh,
like.
Just imagine sitting on that bridge like, so when are they coming down? I don't know. Look at the water. Oh, look, there's some.
Bing!
Jesus Christ.
I see you. You haven't liked the video yet. Why not? Go on. Go like it. While you're at it, you know you want to subscribe. And if you want to go to our social medias, all the links you need are in the description box down below. And you might as well head over to our Patreon as well, where you can get extra bonus content if you're enjoying this. That link's in the description box down below. But we'll get straight back into the video. Love you guys.
Literally.
The Dawadar turns back to the city, and the Caliph sends him to personally submit to Hulagu. The weary Abbasid soldiers follow. Thousands of warriors cast down their weapons, joined by hopeful civilians in peaceful submission.
You're all getting ruined.
The Mongols divide them up, lead them from the city, and kill all of them.
Yep.
The heads of the Duatdar and 2 other officials are sent to their friend, the governor of Mosul, a reminder to those who have not yet submitted. The king without
you're
an
gonna
army,
submit now.
Al-Mustasim, finally emerges to surrender, and Hulagu did not exhibit any anger, but asked after his health kindly and pleasantly. After that, he said to the caliph, "Tell the people of the city to throw down their weapons and come out so that we may make a count."
Make it count.
The caliph complies. He is taken prisoner, and the Mongols receive the people of Baghdad in the tens of thousands. And they pluck apart shaking families, mothers and infants, old and young. A few they spare as slaves and craftsmen. They kill the rest. Seeping hills of heads and bodies stretch like a sallow sheet over the whole plain. Then begins the long pillage and massacre of the city.
It's the thing with the Mongols, man. If you had a use, you survived. If you was a craftsman, if you was a tradesman, if you was a smith, if you could make something, if you could make siege warfare,
I'm
you
not
would
even
survive.
kidding, bro. But if I see that man
That one there on screen?
dressed like that,
Yeah, brother.
with an army behind him, with fire behind them,
I'm killing myself.
I'm fucking sucking his dick to say that. I don't even care, bro.
No, I'm killing myself, brother. I'm killing myself.
That's fucking...
Because it's not just his dick. You're going to get 50 other dicks in your mouth, like, and your bum.
I could make a tool. And I had to make one.
To undermine civilian resistance, Hulagu had promised to spare some segments of the population, including the minority Christian and Shia Muslim communities.
Oh, does he?
He holds true to this word.
Okay.
And he sends the Mongols house to house, street to street, to slaughter everyone else.
Okay.
Yeah, man, the Mongols don't fuck
So the
man.
first
and
word
his
he's kept
retinue
to,
go
though.
to the royal palace, and he commands the caliph to serve him a feast. Hulagu says,
He goes into big man's
He just
castle,
goes in there, sits down and be like, cook me a roast, bitch.
make me food.
Okay.
"You are the host and we are the guests. Bring whatever you have that is suitable for us." The caliph trembles in fear as he opens his treasuries. Hordes of fine clothes, gold, and gems amassed over 5 centuries. The Mongols take all of it.
Yep, every
Not
single
even the
thing.
dead escape their wrath. Mongols tear open the royal tombs, drag out the hallowed bones of old caliphs, and set them ablaze. A witness scratches words on a nearby wall. The women were dishonored, as their living were killed and their dead were burnt.
That's just disgraceful, brother. That's disgraceful. Destroying the place where they rested and bringing their bodies out. That's disgusting. Oh yeah, the Mongols show you they rule
They
in
don't
fear.
care.
No,
They
they're gonna
don't
show everyone.
care.
They want this story to go out to every other fucking place. So when they rock up, you just give them their money and they can just
Imagine
walk
Mongols
away.
run the world today.
Ah, brother. If they were united, they would have. But they fragmented like most empires do. They fragment.
Once great mosques and palaces are devoured by flames. Houses of wisdom lie in charred ruin,
That's the big
and
sad.
riven corpses glut the waterways. The putrid
All
air
their knowledge
carries
lost.
flies and pestilence. One chronicle records, the dead lay as mounds in the streets and the markets.
Shit.
Rain fell on them. Their faces were disfigured, and they became an example to anyone who saw them. The dead are said by some to number as high as 800,000 to 2 million. One of the greatest atrocities in history.
Holy
The stench
shit.
and bloat of this foul scene offend even Hulagu, who moves his camp out of the city. On February
It
20th,
smells that bad. This man's used to a lot of bad stuff, brother, and he's like, no, we gotta move. We gotta move.
he summons the caliph and his followers. The Mongols believe that heaven will curse any who spill noble blood upon the earth. And so, it is likely they rolled the caliph of Baghdad into a carpet and trampled him to death. The Mongols kill nearly all his family and his followers. In
like
the
that
eyes of
trampling.
many, the line of succession from the Prophet Muhammad has been cut. This is a wound the Islamic world shall never forget.
didn't realise that. That's also big. That was the last of Muhammad's bloodline. The Prophet. Yeah, that's...
Whew! They wrapped him up in carpet, mate.
Yeah, they do that a lot. Yeah, wrap him up in carpet, have horses run over him.
Noble blood, I understand that. I get it. That's crazy.
Yeah, it soaks up.
A golden age laid to waste by the house of Genghis Khan. Over the next 2 years, the Mongols continue their conquests into Syria.
They
But in
didn't stop.
Egypt, there stands a great Islamic power. Hulagu Khan sends messengers to demand the surrender of these so-called Mamluks. The Mongol envoys never return.
Nope. They did not.
After a big helping of Mongol destruction,
Yeah,
soldiers
man.
need to-
Yeah, man. Very, very interesting. The Mamluk era is also super interesting, so I hope History Does gets onto some of that content. What a great fucking little series this is. We got one more sort of episode in this series. You fucking enjoying it?
I am actually. I enjoy it. Yeah, man. Mongols are violent.
Oh, brother, they're the most violent empire out there. They ruled in fear. But they were also really accepting of other people's religions, as you sort of saw there. Like, a lot of the Khans took different sort of religions. Some were Christian, some were Islamic, some were Buddhist. And they were shamanistic. Like, their original sort of belief was shamanistic. So yeah, it's really interesting that they were sort of so willing to accept other religions, and that's why I also think they were able to become so large. But thoroughly enjoyed this. Like to sort of, I think Jack would like to know a bit more about Genghis Khan himself. So if there's any video suggestions like that, drop it in the comments box down below. If you haven't already, go over to History Daze Channel. That link's in the description box down below. If you want to see bonus content, extended content, our Patreon link's in the description box down below. And of course, we're on our road to 10,000 subscribers, so you know what you need to do if you haven't already. Like, comment, subscribe, hit that notification bell, and we will catch you in the next video.
See you in a bit.